Greetings there, members of this fledgling society. Rhadamant here. Thank you for tuning in to New Cycle, Episode 6, Medicine and Power. Alright, let's keep going with the houses upgrade. I could do a bunch, we'll briefly displace people, but I could do a bunch of them at once. So I don't have to keep remembering, because I built up a pretty healthy supply of resources. It's all but 2. Community request. Notes and doodles. So this is a request for taverns to supply paper for people to be able to take notes and doodle. If we supply the paper, we gain 15% extra knowledge for all classes, but it requires an upkeep of paper, a regular upkeep of paper, and if we decline, nothing changes. So do we want to spend paper for extra research or not, essentially? You guys vote on that. Looks like, yeah. Paper is powerful. So the result of that regulation, over in the tavern will start to supply paper out to the homes that it supports. Oh, does that tavern not reach out to that home? It does not. Sorry, home. You're getting nuked. And likewise, I'm going to nuke this one too, because I figure it's going to have the same problem inversely. Okay, for us to make more houses, I need a brickyard. And there's a group of travelers here. 18. Man, our immigration policies are working. So, let's go and get a brickyard fully set up. So we'll have, or glassworks, and a clay pit. Almost fully staffed. Oh, yeah, fully staffed. So now we have both going. It's actually kind of funny. It's diagonal. It's like sand going to the glass and clay going to the bricks, but whatever. With all those new people, might as well. Social hierarchies. Chief, this may sound a bit sinister at first, but hear us out. We've all worked hard and paid the price to make life here what it is. We provide a level of comfort and order that can even be considered a luxury in this lost world. These risks in opening our doors to outsiders, but we know that there's nothing else that we could do to grow. Still, it isn't right that newcomers should immediately have access to the same opportunities and welfare as our brothers and sisters who have paid such a heavy price. So, do we have a hierarchy of contribution where relative newcomers will not have the same rights until they've worked heavy and dirty jobs for some time? Or to be fair even to those that immigrate? So it doesn't really tell you exactly what the net results are. It doesn't show you mousing over, like, you know, what it will be. But essentially, the nicest things will go to the oldest members. But it looks like we're voting that down. We understand your concerns, but we say no. We're going to treat everyone fairly. Works for me. And we have reached the Cycle 5 acceleration. So this gives metalworks which is like an improved toolsmithy. Pub, which is improved tavern. It also gives a kitchen, which is improved soup kitchen. An infirmary, which is a new building to provide medical care for the people that live in homes. A distillery to brew drinks for the tavern, and medicine and alcohol for medicine. And then tinned rations, which is for supplying regional networks. Also, steel and motors. Motors become a necessary device to be able to do a whole lot of things. Also, utilities just browned out again. Good lord, we are power hungry. Oh, these are like the upgraded wind turbines too. Okay, yeah, let's build them, but I'm going to need to make tin bars in order to do it. Tin ingots, rather. I hadn't realized that I had queued up the tier 2 wind turbines, but I mean, they're more efficient, so that's fine. There are alternative power sources to wind turbines. There's coal power plants and oil power plants that you get later on. So here in this, this is the coal turbine, right here, that we can unlock once I have more wires and iron ingots. Oh, yikes! Lightning hit a house and killed 2 people, and I'm sure they'll blame me for that. This is the first loss. There's a little bit of bugs where, like, I have had people die before, but, like, this is the first time the game thinks people have died, so now the cemetery has 2 people in it. Lewis and Bailey. An unfamiliar skyline. Chief, it's just like the stories of the first day. Even the night seems to be losing its darkness. For a few days now, the sun has been shining brighter and stronger. Today is the 7th day of these events, and if our guesses and stories are correct, we're about to experience the same scenario once again. There's nothing to do about it but wait and simply watch. Sky's on fire, yo! We saw it with our own eyes. Half a century later, the same disaster is upon us again. We are not as fragile as the modern world that we faced the first time, but we are sure that it will bring nothing but harm. Uh-oh. So we've got a lightning strike and a bit of an electricity brownout, although that's being solved here in a second with the new wind turbine. The first one's done, so this is more than twice the power of the originals. Towards a better life. We should take care to preserve our momentum. So it wants me to provide drinks and medicine and have an infirmary and develop extra stuff. And I'm fine with that. In fact, it doesn't even give you a choice. Does everyone have a house? I don't think I've housed everyone. No. Oh, well, we're still rebuilding this one. Alright, so I didn't make all the tin that we need for the bigger wind turbines, but I ran out of iron ingots, so I switched over. And I think this is the last scout? Yeah, so I'm going to recall this one. Cool. We are done scouting the 10 regions that we are going to improve. There's out of mushrooms there. Is there another place to gather mushrooms? Yeah, there's one back here. Is there a... Okay, there's a higher volume one over here, where this old kill yard was. And this is the final scout. They are in land. So let's recall all of our scouts. We've explored 10 regions. We have set up watchtowers in those 10 regions. The benefits of those watchtowers can be seen here in the attraction. It's 10 per watchtower, so I'll put 100. Very easy to get crazy high attraction numbers with those very cheap to build watchtowers. Okay, so we've one more high-level wind turbine left to build. And these scouts are being recalled.
In the end, we'll see another day, huh?
Oh, time to modernize. So it wants me to develop static turbines and build a coal generator. Which is good, because I've been having to ramp up like ridiculous amount of wind everywhere. And that's fine, but like eventually you need to tech up. Oh, and even more events. We are sure it was a solar flare. What little information we have from half a century ago is barely of use to us. All the sources and traces of the current state suggest that a second wave of catastrophe awaits us. We may not have much time to lose right now, but this will determine the fate of future generations. We think that our technological assets are too primitive to be affected by such a solar storm. However, we do know that the impact of the planet, climate cycles, atmospheric structure would be. In short, we can't say how life on Earth will be affected. One cannot build a settled life and community based on good intentions and guesses. Instead, we can try to make sense of what's happening and what we could happen by regularly observing changes in our environment, especially in the atmosphere. We ask you to assemble a task force to carry out these duties and give them the necessary time and equipment. Essentially, we're trying to figure out what can be done about these solar storms. And I need to make 3 iron ingots in order to supply them, so that will be done in a second. Done. So now the task force needs to use those supplies to analyze the situation for 20 days. And as a result, there is a community knowledge drops for 25 days, and productivity of metalworks kilns and forges drop, and certain buildings drop as well. Because there's a lot of our local labor force that is dedicated towards this special project now. Okay, I have houses for everyone now. In fact, I have a spare house that's empty. So, current priority right now is to provide drink and medicine. So in order to do that, I need to research pubs and infirmaries with earned rights. So earned rights is here, and this requires pressurized systems here, which just requires some more iron ingots. So I just need more iron ingots, in other words. Is there more surface iron for me to exploit? Yes, there is. I can set a field camp here for this iron. One house doesn't have security? Oh, weird. I thought it was symmetrical. That's confusing. But, alright. I will fix that. How did I... Yeah, it's the same. No, it's not a tile lower. I could see it's on the same tile. It's as if it's not a circle? I don't know. But I'll put another guard tower there. I don't really care. Alright, come on, iron ingots. We're consuming too much of them. So the things that are consuming iron is mostly the smith. So what I can do is I can switch over the tin mine to iron to supplement the amount of iron that we need, and then employ in that field camp, where is it? Here. To employ more iron miners to just get a more iron ore, and then train 2 of these workers to become craftsmen to spin up a 4th smelter. So hopefully that will fulfill the iron that we need so that I can start to oh, there we go. Make progress technologically, because everything is requiring iron right now. Another thing that will need to be addressed sooner or later is the lack of meals. We aren't making a net. We're barely making a net positive. So probably to get another soup kitchen or get a real kitchen, get that research unlocked to get a full-fledged kitchen. A question for you guys. What should I work on first? Coal power or healthcare? I was planning on doing healthcare, but if you want coal power instead, you can vote for that. Because I have quests here for both. Okay, there we go. New season. New children aging up. And I almost have the requisite materials for pressurized systems so that I can start brewing. We're also going to need to get... Oh, there we go. We're going to need to get a farm going as well. So production, farm. Right there is an ideal spot. And I'll get 2 farms. One for wheat, maybe 2 for wheat for now, and then eventually I'll want 1 for linen. as well. Oh, sand maxed out. And we'll start collecting mushrooms for food. So there were 0 mushrooms here in the winter, and 885 of them came back from the replenishment as a result of there being a new season. Wood does look low, yeah. Yep. Not too worried about it, because it's pretty easy to just hire a bunch of woodcutters. Because there's plenty of forests around. That, and I'm manufacturing tons and tons of lumber and paper. I don't even track paper anymore. But my point is, I don't need to be manufacturing that. I could stop at any point, because it's not like necessarily mission critical. Do I need more houses? Not yet. I think I have 0 availability, though, so... That's not correct. So I'll set it up ahead of time. No, I don't need your tutorial for roads. Alright, so we got pressurized systems. And then we also then need earned rights. Earned rights requires about 800 more knowledge. So we'll start the pressurized systems. So pressurized systems is going to be distillery. So I'm probably going to need 3 distilleries. 1 to make drink, 1 to make alcohol, and 1 to turn the alcohol into medicine. Which means that we're going to need a whole lot of bricks and some bronze ingots as well. So I'm going to change 2 of these smelters over from what they were doing over to bronze, so I can start stockpiling that bronze for the distilleries. And then over here, we need more bricks. I have 300 glass, I only have 70 bricks, so I'll do 2 brickyards. But I'm going to have the pits still dig sand, because I have a lot more clay than sand. Yep, building's on fire. I'm just going to choose a balanced response here. And a guest. It's Carla. So, excuse me, I've come a long way, and you're the only group that I've come across. I need your help. I'm going to offer them help. It's sort of like an immigration task. So I'm supplying them simple meals, water, and basic tools, and they'll join after some time. My kitchens love to burn down that thing. It's not the first time. Probably won't be the last. Oh, I think both of them full burnt to the ground. I don't think there's going to be much to repair. So I'll put the distilleries, am I max limited for herbs? Okay. So I'm going to shut down one of these kill yards and raise the limit for herbs to 4,000, which is like an obscene amount. Ooh, they both could be repaired. Miraculous. And then we'll start to produce here. I'll put the distilleries here. 1, 2, and 3. with the farms built, I'm going to hook them up with... I guess for now, I'm going to have both of them doing grain. Eventually, we'll need flax or linen for clothing, but I don't need that yet, so I'm not going to bother getting it yet. And I almost have the knowledge for earned rights. I just need a little bit more iron. Between the fires and the special project that we're working on, we've just been really falling behind with production numbers for a while. Just the way it is sometimes. So here's the first distillery. I'm going to turn it off because we don't have the power to power it up. I do have a lot of tin. I think I have a lot of tin ore. No, 2. Okay. So we'll do the old school turbines, which are cheaper. I'm not... I don't feel the need to invest in... higher tech turbines, because we're going to be moving to coal pretty soon, I think. So I don't need the really expensive turbines, only to then phase them out, like, in a season. So those turbines are a stopgap measure, in other words. Oh, and a sandstorm? Man, this year is full of work stoppages events, one after another. Because we just finished the special project, and now we have a workforce for the sandstorm. So we have defined the division of tasks and responsibilities between ourselves. We'll conduct follow-up studies on findings each season. So I'm going to give them whatever they need in order to figure out how to survive in the future. But finally, let's get some earned rights for the infirmary. So we need the tin mine running to get more of the bronze. So we'll switch this back to tin. I'm going to switch this to copper. So everything has an upkeep, and the upkeep is here in the maintenance shed. This is what keeps things running. So, like, right now I don't have the bricks for upkeep. Ooh, 24 people joining? Oh, my lord. All right, how to get them to work. So, we have identified the need for additional wood. Our wood amount is running low. So I'm going to set up a few field camps just for wood cutting. Employ some as fishing. And then we're also going to want another soup kitchen to feed this new influx of immigrants. And then another residence to house them. Is that road not connected? More stupid barter. And it also looks like the grain is nearing max. So I'm going to raise the grain up to 10,000. Okay, we have developed infirmaries. I don't have the bricks to build one yet, but the plan is to build an infirmary here to support the houses here so that they have healthcare. And then once these distilleries are done being built, producing alcohol and medicine. So in order to produce medicine, you need herbs, glass, alcohol, and tin. And then alcohol is just grain. So you need 3 distilleries to support that fully. Well, we have a lot of unemployed people, so let's get them employed. Switch to the workforce overlay. I could spin up another mine. That makes more sense once it's time to run with coal, I think. God, where's my woodcut huts? Like, I built them down this way. So woodcutter. Woodcutter. I thought I built 3. Just 2? I swear I built 3. But that should be a net positive of wood per day now. There's no more mushrooms there to gather. We gather fish. So this mine... Well, let's spin this one up. So I'm going to train 2 craftsmen for that mine. I'll actually train 3 because there's not a 100% graduation rate. So most of the newcomers are now employed. The brickworks is what we... I can put another person in there. Brickworks is what is the biggest bottleneck at the moment. So I could get another kiln going as well. Just to help out with the brick bottleneck. In fact, I'll just build 2. Because everything that we're doing right now requires bricks. Although the distillery just got the last shipment of bricks, so it's going to be running in a second. So here we go. Grain. So this is a good example. This distillery will not run without craftsmen. So I'm not going to run that. I'm not going to bother turning it on until I have the craftsmen to staff it. And the distillery is also going to require a lot of power, so it's time to set up coal to support our stills. Ooh, I don't have enough basic tools for... Okay, that's a problem. One way to fix this: regular distribution of tools rather than extra. And then I have a lot of wires, so this wire factory can just become excess tools so that we can train some more craftsmen. So let's start getting the medicine going. So there we go for alcohol. And actually, you tend not to need a lot of medicine, so I'm probably not going to have this fully staffed. But at least initially, I want to surge a supply of medicine, and then I'll balance it out to meet only the needs. And then the other thing that we want to do with the next craftsman that gets trained here is to start the still, too. The beer brewing. Oh, I am in a power negative situation. So, what do I turn off? For now, again, on yet another stopgap, I'm just going to put another wind turbine or two. Just kick the can a little bit further. But the amount of power that coal generates is insane. So much more than wind. Which I suppose is true in real life. So over in our population center, we need about 40 more bricks to get that built. Oh, yeah, the kilns here are running, but not... So I turned one off to save power. There we go. Infirmary is almost done. All the bricks were supplied. And then we should get another big boost to morale because we are finally supplying healthcare. Although this house is outside of the range of the tavern. However, the tavern is going to become a pub, so maybe the pub's range is higher. I don't remember. All right, so here, the dawn of fossil fuels. And it wants me to stockpile some coal as a quest, so I'll do that. And Carla's people just arrived, and Carla's people aren't all just regular workers. Some of them are actually specialized craftsmen, which is kind of nice. They arrive with some education. So I can get them in the mines, getting more coal. So let's get our first coal generator. And I'll stick it right here next to the coal mine. Kind of makes sense to me. So we don't have apples for the infirmary, but we do have medicine. So the medicine is getting delivered. And as soon as I get 150 iron ingots, we can also get a pub. So, I'm not really using bronze right now, so I'm going to triple smelt iron ingots. Now, we are in a power deficit situation, but I'm not too worried because the coal power plant's about to be built. And I did supply the medicine and drinks, so that quest got fulfilled as well. So if you're wondering about the apples is something that you eventually get through the arboriculture, which is a bit beyond our tech. So it's something that we're not yet benefiting from, but we will eventually. One thing I didn't do this winter is to turn off all the mushroom collection. I do find at some point in the game, like around now, during the acceleration phase or so, doing the constant seasonal adjustments to resource collection becomes a little labor intensive, and it's something that I just stopped doing. So here we go. Right now, I'm literally just employing a singular craftsman, and this thing is producing 2k watts. I put in some extra workers, it's 6k watts. Easy, easy, easy power generation. And this is a I didn't read that, but that is a active effect that I can trigger to just celebrate a good season. So if I click on the main hall and go to actions, after a successful cycle, we can trigger this to have a little bit of a celebration. Helps with health and morale. And I think this is a good place to leave off. At the end of year 8, 288 days in, and having a pretty highly productive, sprawling community that had just entered the age of coal. My 2 cents about this game, the different biomes are fairly replayable. One aspect of the game that it did not show is sort of the resource chain management, where you end up with buildings that have conveyor belts. So as you can see, conveyor systems and oil and diesel power and mechanized mining. So it gets more like Satisfactory or Factorio-esque towards the end. A little bit of a spoiler, talking about sort of the endgame crises. You end up in a situation where you are told that given the solar cycles, you're not going to be able to have surface water or food available. And the game drives you to build a giant bunker mega project. So I won't say anything more than that, but just to say that the game at that point becomes a huge part about resource management and labor optimization. Sort of like how Dyson Sphere program, everything eventually coalesces for you to build a Dyson Sphere, or Floodland had a similar sort of like build a mega bunker project. There's a few settlement survival games that do that sort of like end game crisis, build a giant bunker. I think Endzone or Surviving the Aftermath has as well. But my point is, that is essentially what this sort of crescendos into. So I hope you enjoyed the stream. And that's all I've got for today. Thank you for tuning in to New Cycle, which originally streamed live on Twitch January 30th. If you have any feedback or questions for me, let me know in the comments below. If you'd like to catch a live stream of mine, Rhadamant.com has my stream schedule and countdown timers to upcoming streams. If you would like to join my online gaming community on Discord, Rhadamant.com has a link to Discord, as does the description of this video. Thank you so very much for watching, and a special thank you to my Patreon patrons, Twitch subscribers, and viewers like you that support the channel and made it all the way to the credits. Thank you so very much. I hope to catch you in next episode or an upcoming stream. Farewell, my fellow Solar Flare survivors.